If you've been paying attention to the news lately, you have certainly seen a lot of train crashes, a lot of plane crashes, and things of that sort, and it can be very scary if you're the sort of person that takes those modes of transportation. You should be scared. It's a scary thing. But I worry, and thankfully Media Matters is covering that a lot of scientists who study this sort of thing are worried about the potential long-term policy consequences of focusing so much on these disasters. And so specifically, recently we had the train crash in Spain, and look, Fox News, and in this case I'm not even just trying to label Fox News as being wrong. It's not just Fox. They say, despite Spain crash, this is their headline, California proceeding with high-speed rail system. And like I said, it's not just Fox News. You can't just say that because Spain had a train crash, we need to worry about, every high-speed rail system in the world. And, they're all suspect. Because they're not all suspect, and they're not all operating in the same fashion as the particular train that crashed in Spain. Specifically, Japan and France, they've been operating high-speed rail systems like this for over 3 decades, and they haven't recorded a single fatality yet. We're going to get to comparisons to other modes of transportation, but bear that in mind. Now, Art Guzzetti, he's the Vice President of Policy at the American Public Transportation Association, is also worried about Americans drawing the wrong conclusions from the coverage of things like the Spain train crash or the crash in Canada just a couple of weeks ago. He says, the way the media should cover it is they should look at the whole body of experience, as you can't draw conclusions from one tragic event. The whole body of experience, the whole body of evidence, the whole body of facts shows that passenger rail is safe. The real safety issue is motor vehicles, and he noted that deaths per passenger mile for motor vehicles are over 40 times larger than Amtrak and over 20 times larger than for commuter rail. Now, we've got this little chart we're going to put up. Take a look at this. I understand that the headlines do not reflect this reality, but there are very good reasons for that we're going to cover. So you see here that motor vehicles fatalities per 100 million passenger miles, this is from 2003 to 2008, motor vehicles 1.4 fatalities per 100 million passenger miles. Objectively low by itself, but man, when you look at things like commuter rail and specifically Amtrak, they're much larger, that you barely see it on the chart there. And so why is it that we focus so much more on something like the Spain train crash when across America, way more people died in automobile accidents? Some of the reasons for this is coming from the president of the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety. This is from the New York Times back in 2010, said that it's because motor vehicle fatalities happen in small numbers, are geographically dispersed, and aren't considered headline-grabbing news. And that's a great point. Not to say that they don't cover when cars crash, but it doesn't have the exciting footage of the Spain train crashing, because we had this awesome view of it and everything. We once again are bumping up against limitations in the human brain, the evolution of the human brain. When small little things add up over time, like people dying from pollution, people dying from car accidents, we don't see that as a threat in the way that we do when 100 people die in one event. And that's not because the one event is more dangerous. It's just because that's how our brain has evolved. And so you need to be especially vigilant when seeing news like this to not overestimate the prevalence of it. These crashes, like in Spain, do not happen every week. They don't happen every year even. As I said, Japan and France have been operating for 30 years. And so don't allow it to sway you against public transportation. And as we start to debate over the next month the Hyperloop, bear in mind this public transportation is comparatively very safe. And so very interesting information coming from Media Matters. I'm glad that they're focusing on this. What happened in Spain is a tragedy, but don't let it turn you totally against public transportation and high-speed rail.